Good evening, and thank you for joining us this evening for our City Council meeting. We will go ahead and get started. Before we get too carried away, I just want to make mention that we have had some technical difficulties. If you're here for the State of the City address, I apologize. Technology is incredible most of the times, but when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And it didn't work. And so we've got we have a video that we've prepared. That video we could not get from one computer off so that we could actually show the video. And so that State of the City address will be moved to February the 2nd. The first meeting in February is when we'll have that State of the City address. And hopefully between now and then, technology will kick in for us. That being said, we'll go ahead and get started. With agenda item 1 is a roll call and pledge of allegiance. So, Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Here.
Flores.
Here.
Mangum.
Here.
Marchand.
Here.
Nichols.
Here.
Black.
Here. If you'd please stand for the pledge of allegiance, and after which, if you would remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll move to agenda item 3 is a consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the following meetings. Budget Development Meeting of July 7, 2022, and Clarification and Regular City Council Meetings of November 3, 2022. B, Material Claims. Council may wish to consider material claims for the period of December 11 through December 31, 2022. C, Treasurer's Report. Council may wish to consider the Treasurer's Report for October 2022, showing cash and investments as of October 31, 2022. D, Parks and Recreation Advisory Board appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Darren Black to serve as a member of the Golf Advisory Committee, replacing David Doran, whose term expired. Darren's term will begin January 20, 2023 and expire January 20, 2025. E, Pocatello Regional Airport Commission reappointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Molly Basiris to continue serving as a member of the Pocatello Regional Airport Commission. Molly's term will begin January 18, 2023 and expire January 18, 2025.
Mr. Mayor.
Council President Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor, I move for approval of agenda item number 3, the consent agenda items A through E.
Second.
We have a motion by Council President Cheatham and a second by Lurick. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Mangum.
Yes.
Marchand.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 4 is proclamations and communications. We do not have any proclamations tonight, so we'll move to agenda item 5 is a calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. On January 12, City Council work session has been canceled. January 19, all City Council meetings have been canceled on this day. Other events, Christmas tree collection sites will be available through January 13. Boxes are provided at City Hall, Rainey Park on South Arthur, and Sister City Park entrance on Pocatello Creek Road for Christmas tree disposal. Trees will be chipped and used in landscaping projects. Be sure to remove all strings, wires, and other objects to avoid damaging the city's wood chipping equipment. City offices will be closed January 16 to observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Garbage and recycle pickups will be on schedule. Applications for Pocatello's Promise of Tomorrow Mayoral Scholarship for Students program are being accepted through February 28th. As a reminder to please keep sidewalks clear of snow and ice. When clearing sidewalks and driveways of snow, please do not throw the snow in the streets. It becomes a driving hazard. We'll move to agenda item 6 as a public hearing, city-initiated text amendment to Title 17 zoning regulations. This time has been set aside for council to hear comments from the public regarding amendments to Title 17 zoning regulations. The proposed changes are intended to update and improve the current zoning regulations. I declare the public hearing open. Will we have ex parte communication on any of this?
No,
It's legislative.
it's a legislative, yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Jim Anglesey, Long Range Planner for the city of Pocatello. The item before you is a city-initiated text amendment to Title 17, the zoning ordinance. These amendments include several items which have been provided in your packet, but for the benefit of the public, I will present a summary of the proposed amendments, which include, in the definitions section, amend the duplex definition to clarify that two units may be detached from one another. Remove the subdivision definition and refer it to Title 16's definitions. Under the use classifications, amend the household living classification to refer to the definition of a group home in Idaho State Code. Replace group living unsupervised with boarding and rooming house and amend its classification description. Replace group living supervised with residential care facility and amend its classification description. Remove transitional housing classification. Amend shelter housing classification description. In section regarding decision-making procedures and public hearings, remove Planning and Zoning Commission hearings and decisions for conditional use permits over 1.5 acres. Amend hearing examiner decisions to include all conditional use permits. Under the appeal section, amend purpose section to cite the correct Idaho code section. Amend appeal period from 10 days to 14 days to better reflect state code. Amend reconsideration decisions to specify a 60-day period to better reflect state code. Amend appeals to city council decisions to better reflect state code. Under the hearing examiner section, amend purpose and duties to include all conditional use permits. Amend duties section to include a 10-day deadline for determinations and findings. Under Planning and Zoning Commission, amend duties section to remove preliminary plats as recommendations and identify them as decisions. Remove conditional use permits from P&Z duties. Under the Historic Preservation Commission, amend commission appointments and terms to better reflect Idaho State Historic Preservation Office requirements. The creation of a new section to address mediation standards which reflect Idaho State Code. In the use table, remove group home to reduce redundancy with household living and revise allowances. Replace group living supervised with residential care facilities and revise allowances. Remove group living unsupervised to reduce redundancy with boarding and rooming houses and revise allowances. Remove transitional housing. Revise shelter housing allowances. Revise public social support service allowances. And amend Note 1 to refer to Idaho State Code. Under dimensional standards tables, remove duplicate front yard setback row and remove Note 3 in central commercial district column to reduce redundancies. Historic preservation overlay section, amend certificate of appropriateness process section to allow for email transmittal of decision and provide for a 10-day deadline for findings transmittal and provide for a 14-day appeal period. Amend demolition procedures section to remove a 30-day decision requirement and allow for email transmission of decision and allow for affected persons to appeal demolition decision within a 14-day appeal period instead of 30. In the section regarding the original town site overlay, simplify non-residential setbacks and allow for 0-foot setbacks for commercial and allow for reduced setbacks on a single OTO corner lot. And then finally, infill development parcel criteria, amend infill criteria and require all criteria to be met rather than just 2. Staff identified several stakeholders, including developers, realtors, engineers, and architects working in the city to review the proposed changes and provide comment. Comments received by stakeholders have been included in your packet for review. And staff has also received questions and comments over the phone by some of these stakeholders, mostly regarding sections on mediation and infill. Notification of this public hearing has met all state and local noticing requirements. And to date, staff has not received any comments from the general public regarding this agenda item. And this concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
Council, any questions? Okay, super. Thank you. Madam Clerk, have you received any comments in your office?
No correspondence.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move to ask for any testimony supporting the application. Any testimony uncommitted to the application. Any testimony opposed to the application. Okay, then with that, I declare the public hearing closed. This item is before you, Council. How do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we would approve agenda item 6 as specified in the agenda item number 6 and approve all of the changes that were suggested by city staff. Is that appropriate?
Sounds good to me. So we have a motion by Councilmember Mangum and a second by Marchand. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Mangum?
Yes.
Marchand?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Lurick?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 7, Idaho Transportation Department Grant Application, Public Transit. Council may wish to approve submission of a 5339 one-time grant application to the Idaho Transportation Department, Public Transportation Office. The project in the amount of $600,000 will include the purchase of 2 rural buses and 2 urban buses. The federal share in the amount of $480,000, has a local match of $120,000. Sufficient matching resources are available in Fund 008 for $60,000 and Fund 009 for $60,000. If awarded, council may wish to authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents and authorize the public transit director to execute the grant and any necessary amendments subject to award confirmation, legal department review, and budget amendments. No city funds are used for the rural program. Councilwoman Lurick?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the Idaho Transportation Department grant application to the Public Transportation Office as outlined in agenda item number 7, and if awarded, authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents and authorize the public transit director to execute the grant and any necessary amendments subject to award confirmation, legal department review, and budget amendments.
Second.
We have a motion by Lurick and a second by Cheatham. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lurick?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Marchand?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 8, fiscal year 2023 program of projects, public transit. Council may wish to approve the capital program of projects for transit urban Federal Transit Administration Idaho Transportation Department Grant 5339 in the amount of $460,000 for fiscal year 2023 with a local share of $115,000. And if awarded, authorize the mayor to sign all pertinent documents and authorize the public transit director to make necessary amendments and modifications related to the grant as required, subject to legal department review. Councilwoman Lurick.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the capital program of projects for Transit's Urban Federal Transit Administration Idaho Transportation Department grant as outlined in agenda item number 8. And if awarded, authorize the mayor to sign all pertinent documents and authorize the public transit director to make necessary amendments and modifications related to the grant as required and subject to legal department review.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Lyric and a second by Cheatham. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Shant,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 9, Idaho Parks and Recreation Foundation Grant Application, Centennial and Rainy Parks. Council may wish to approve submission of a grant to the Idaho Parks and Recreation Foundation in the amount of up to $1 million, subject to legal department review. And if awarded, authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents related to the grant. The projects to be completed under the grant include improvements to Centennial and Rainy Parks. The grant will require a 50% local match, which will be funded through budgeted science and environment funds, subject to a budget amendment.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, before I move to approve this item, I'd like to make a remark about something in our material claims report this evening. We have a payment to Harmony Design and Engineering from our Science and Environment for the Centennial Park redesign, and that marks the 60% mark on design on that project for the Port Neuf River project. And that is a milestone that we've been looking for how many years now? 3 years, I think. It means at this point, this project moves to the Army Corps of Engineers for approval, and the money that we're talking about here now under agenda item 9 then can be used to actually begin work on what's been dreamed of for these many years for redesigning the Port Neuf as it goes through Pocatello. And I think it's remarkable that we're finally there. And I want to thank Hannah and the engineering department for all the work they've done to get us to this point. It seems like it was a dream when we started 4 or 5 years ago on this, and now we're getting close. It's something that could be reality here in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yay.
So, based on that, I'd move for approval of agenda item number 9, the Idaho Parks and Recreation Foundation grant application for Centennial and Rainy Parks,
Second.
as approved in agenda item 9.
Second.
Okay, I heard 2 seconds, but I do have some clarification. I'm giving that second to Corey Mangum, by the way. Yeah, I had Linda written down here and I changed it. I do have a question. Our attorney recommended that we approve only the application process.
Yes.
So that the council will have it come back in front of us for acceptance and stuff, so we can see
Would you
what
like me
that
to
looks like.
restate my motion, Mr. Mayor?
I just wanted to make sure that's what your motion said.
That's what I intended.
Okay, and is that what you understood,
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Mangum? Okay. Then with that, I think we'll be okay with that. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. We have a motion by Council President Cheatham and a second by Councilmember Mangum. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Shant,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, Idaho Department of Lands Grant Application, Pocatello Phase 4 Roadside Vegetation Grant. Council may wish to approve submission of a grant to Western States Fire Managers, WSFM, through the Idaho Department of Lands in the amount of $240,000, subject to legal department review. And if awarded, authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents related to the grant. The grant will require a 10% local match, which will be funded using in-kind staff time and indirect rates from Parks and Recreation and Science and Environment departments. Councilwoman Lurick?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the submission of the grant to Western States Fire Managers through the Idaho Department of Lands as outlined in agenda item number 10. And we're only approving the submission at this point, so I don't need to say the if awarded part. Okay, so I will stop there then.
Second.
Sounds good.
Second.
We had a second in front of you, Council President Cheatham. And I'm going to give it to Councilmember Mangum because this is exciting to me. He's actually making seconds. So. We have a motion by Lyric and a second by Mangum. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, Local Highway Safety Improvement Program, LHSIP. Grant application, Poline Road and Eldridge Road intersections. Council may wish to approve submission of a grant to LHSIP in the amount of $1,819,000, subject to legal department review. And if awarded, authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents related to the grant and necessary contract agreements. Grant funds will be used for the safety improvement project at the intersection of Poline Road and Eldridge Road. There is a required city match in the amount of $134,000, which is available in Fund 70.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Lyric?
I move that we I'm reading the right one. I move that we approve the submission of a grant to LHSIP as outlined in agenda item number 11. And subject to legal department review, and if awarded, authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents related to the grant and all necessary contract agreements.
Second.
I'm going to give that one to Nichols. So we've got a motion by Lyric and a second by Nichols. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, Ross Park Aquatic Complex Phase Number 2 Pool Resurfacing Completion Timeframe Extension Request. Council may wish to grant an extension to the Mastercraft Pool and Spa RPAC Phase Number 2 Resurfacing Agreement to allow for extended completion time for the RPAC Phase Number 2 Resurfacing Project, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents related to the agreement. If authorized, the agreement would allow for completion of the project no later than May 10, 2023.
Mr. Mayor.
Council President Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of the timeframe extension request for the Mastercraft Tool and Spa RPAC Phase 2 Resurfacing Agreement and authorize your signature on all pertinent documents regarding that agreement, subject to legal department review as outlined in agenda item number 12.
Second.
Given that to Lyric.
And I want to
Motion by
point out,
Council President Cheatham and a second by Councilmember Lyric.
and I just want to point out that we're following the recommendation of the, what was it, Plaster Council? The National Plaster
National Plaster Council.
Commission.
So a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lyric. Wendy, can you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 13, Carasoft Penetration Testing Services Agreement, Information Technology. Council may wish to approve a one-year subscription agreement with Horizon 3 AI Incorporated for penetration and testing as a service for network and security testing in the amount of $35,483.87, which is available in the IT FY 2023 budget, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents pertaining to the agreement, subject to legal department review. Councilwoman Lyric?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the one-year subscription agreement with Horizon 3 AI Inc. As outlined in agenda item number 13, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents pertaining to the agreement, subject to legal department review.
Second.
We have a motion by Lurick and a second by Mangum. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lorick,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Shan,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 14, piggyback bid acceptance sanitation department. Council may wish to consider the following piggyback bids for sanitation department, and if approved, authorize the mayor's signature on all documents pertaining to the purchase, subject to legal department review. A, Sourcewell contract number 060920 PMC via Peterbilt for the procurement of two 2023 Peterbilt 520s with heli bodies, rear loads, refuge truck in the amount of $643,798. The cost of procurement has been budgeted for the sanitation department FY 2023 budget. B, Sourcewell contract number 060920 PMC via Peterbilt for the procurement of one 2023 Peterbilt 520 with a LeBray body side load refuse truck in the amount of $386,033. The cost of the procurement has been budgeted for the sanitation department in FY 2023 budget. And C, HGAC by contract number RC01-21 via SSI Schaefer for the ongoing procurement of 95-gallon residential refuse carts at $57.50 per refuge cart and $61.35 per recycle and yard waste cart. The cost of procurement has been budgeted for the sanitation department FY 2023 budget.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Nichols.
Yeah, I would move to approve agenda item number 14 as outlined.
Second.
That is how you make a motion, folks, as outlined. We have a motion by Nichols and a second by Mangum. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Nichols,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 15 is items from the audience. We've had nobody sign up from the audience. So we'll move to agenda item 16. It has been pulled from the agenda, but I do want to just mention, please come back on February 2nd. We will have the State of the City address on the 2nd. Our technology got in the way this year. I really want to highlight our departments, the people that are doing the work. And without the technology working and us being able to move a video from the one computer so that we can show it, it's just not fair in my mind to be able to do that. And so I am very excited about the State of the City. We have done a tremendous amount of things, and it's very difficult to get it knocked down to 33 minutes, I think Council President Cheatham said it was, 33-minute video. But it's exciting to see all the partnerships that we've had, that we will have coming up in this next year, and all of the things that we've been able to accomplish. Please stay tuned because we were able to accomplish an awful lot in 2022. So thank you for being with us tonight, and with that, we are adjourned.